Hey friends, welcome back to my channel, and today I am going to give you my thoughts on the NYX Ultimate Warm Tone and Cool Tone palettes. Now, I bought these in my recent adventure to Ulta. I did do a little bit of review on it when I did my NYX haul, which I will put in the description bar if you want to check that out. But I just want to share with you my thoughts on these because I have to say that ever since I've gotten these two palettes, I have used them non-stop. I think they're fantastic, and I just want to share with you what I truly think about them. If you want to see this video, go ahead and give it a big old thumbs up and subscribe, and I'm going to share with you my thoughts on these two products. The first one I'm going to tell you about is the Warm Neutral palettes. Now, both of these palettes go for $18, which I have to say is really not a very bad price for these shadows, because you get 16 matte and shimmery shadows, which are very nice. They're all very creamy. They're all very blendable. There is really not a bad bunch in this little palette. And I have to tell you that I don't really have any of these shadows in one palette. I mean, some of these shadows I don't even have in my collection, which is very nice, because sometimes when you get a palette, you can look in your collection and you can see the exact same shade, but just made by a different brand. But I have to tell you, I don't really have some of these shadows at all, and I truly love that about them. Now, you can see on this bottom row right here, you have two matte shadows and two shimmery shadows. Now, these are very good for your brow bone right there. On the two matte shadows right here, now I am so pale that you can hardly see them, but they are very beautiful and they are very creamy, and they really are a very good, you can't really see because I'm so pale, but they are very good brow bone highlights. And these two shimmery shades right here, which are gold and a champagne color, which you can tell they're still very nice shadows. I mean, you can see them on my very pale skin, and they're just absolutely beautiful and so creamy that I have to tell you that these bottom shades are the perfect brow bone shades. And on the in the row above that, you have three transition shades, which are matte, and you have a shimmery shade right there. They are very creamy, and they're very nice, and they're very buttery, and you can tell they are very nice transition shades, especially for the lighter skin tones like me. I think they are very beautiful. They aren't chalky at all. The shimmery shade is very nice. You can apply these as light as you want, and you can apply these as deep as you want. But they are very blendable. They're very nice, and you can build them up. And the row above that is the deeper shades. Now, this is a very beautiful red-brown color. Look at it. Isn't that pretty? It's so pretty. And then you have your shimmery shade, which is also very gorgeous. And then you have your deeper brown. And then you have your gold, which, look at those shadows. I mean, they are absolutely so pigmented, and they feel so nice. I mean, you just rub them in, and you feel the butteriness, which is so beautiful. I don't know how that can be beautiful. I don't know why people say that. I don't know why I just did either, which is so nice. But these colors right here are absolutely fantastic. I mean, these are the most pigmented out of the bunch, I'd have to say, which would be very nice crease shade colors. I don't have a problem with me blending them out, or, you know, anything like that, or them being too hard to work with, because they're not. They are absolutely so easy to work with that, I mean, even someone like me that's not very good when it comes to eyeshadows, this makes it so much easier, especially these darker shades. Now, the row above that has two matte shades and two shimmery shades. This one right here, I'd have to say, is a black purple. It's not a very deep black, and it's not a very deep purple. This kind of meets in the middle, which is a very nice thing for me, because I do love a deep purple look, and this right here works for me very well. This bronzy shade is very nice as well. And then you have this matte coppery brown shade. And then on this side you have your more of a purplish shimmery shades. But what's really nice about these shimmery shades is they don't have any glitter in them, which I love because I don't love that much glitter because it gets everywhere because I've got such oily eyelids that it's really hard for the glitter to stay where it's supposed to. But these shades right here are all gorgeous. They're all pigmented. I mean, they're absolutely fantastic shadows. And for the $18, I don't think you can get a better deal. Especially if you're newer to the makeup or you just want to add a really nice palette to your collection. Especially a palette that, to me, these shades are not in any of my other palettes. I mean, yeah, there are some that are very similar, but there are some that I don't have at all. Especially that color right there, that color, and that color. And basically half of these colors that are in this palette, I don't have at all in my collection, which is very nice, and I love that. Now the Cool Neutral palette has 16 shadows as well, and it also is for $18. Now these shadows are more of a purpley tone, which I absolutely love because I love purple. But just like the other one, there's one row of highlighting shades for the bone. You've got more of a pigmented on the pigmented brow bone on this palette than you do on the other palette. But all of these shadows are very beautiful. They're got a peach tone, they've got a more of a beige tone, and then they've got the white tone, another skin tone highlighting little section right there. I know sometimes I can't talk right, but you're just going to have to forgive me because I know that you know what I'm talking about. And on the next section you have a very beautiful cool tone brown, which everybody needs a cool tone brown. You have a very beautiful cool tone lilac purple, which I absolutely love. I think this is a very good transition shade, especially if you're going for a purple look. And then you have a very nice shimmery lilac color as well. And then you have a very beautiful gold color. Yeah, it's pretty much of a gold beige color. But they're very beautiful and they're so nice. And I just have to say that the pigmentation in this palette is just as nice as the warm tone. Now on the colors above that, you have a very cool toned brown. You have a very beautiful purple. This color right here is the only metallic color, which is so gorgeous. I mean, look at that. Sometimes you see a purple, sometimes you see a blue, sometimes you see a teal. And I love that because I just love little metallic shades because I think they're really nice. And on this shade right here, it is a blue. It's a blue purple shade, which I think is very interesting because I don't have a shade like that at all. But it is also a very beautiful color. And then on the top rows, you have this very bright purple. You have this dark purple. You have this shimmery black shade. And then you have this teal color, which they're very awesome shades. There is not really a bad bunch in here because the more I've worked with them, the more I've used them and played around with them. I have to say that none of these shades are bad. They're all very buttery. They're all very creamy. They are not chalky whatsoever. There's a lot of nice matte shades in this palette. There are some nice shimmery shades. There's only one true glittery shade. And there's this metallic shade right here, which is very nice. There is more diversity in this palette than in the warm tone just because it has that metallic shade and it has that glittery shade right there. But I have to say that this one right here is probably my favorite out of the two just because it's got those beautiful purples that I just love to use on my eyes because they really do make my green eyes pop. But I just truly think that these palettes are fantastic. I mean, out of all the palettes that I have to say that I do not have a palette that has any, or, you know, I might have a palette that has one or two of the same shades, but most of these shades, about 70% of these shades, I do not have whatsoever in my collection. And I love that because I hate getting a palette that might have just one or two shades that I don't have, and the rest I can find in some other palette that I have, or a single eyeshadow. But these, there is about 70% chance that I don't have a shade, or a shade that even looks anywhere near what's in these two palettes. And for 18 bucks a piece, especially when you can go to Ulta and sometimes get it for buy one and get one half off, that is a fantastic deal. I think these shadows are so worth you going out and putting them in your collection because they're absolutely fantastic. There's not a one color that is not blendable or, you know, creamy and all that good jazz that I have said over and over in this video, and I know that, and I'm trying not to do it again. But in my personal opinion, I think you should add these to your collection, or if you are a beginner, I think you should get one or the other because you will have so many looks with these palettes. You can just do a very subtle one, or you can do a dramatic one. It doesn't matter. These palettes are fantastic and I highly recommend them. If you don't take any of my other suggestions, I really do think that this one right here is the one you should listen to because it's fantastic. But I hope you liked the video. I hope I gave you a little bit more of a in-depth about these palettes. I know sometimes my words get a little tongue-tied, but I hope you liked the video. If you do, give it a big old thumbs up and subscribe, and I will see you on my next one. Bye, friends.